everybody, welcome to the video. I'm the Fade. Thanks for tuning in here. We are starting a new series here. This new series is about coming up from the flattest elo you can get. That's why you've not seen a video from me for the last few days, because I've been grinding the opposite direction. So we can show you some different team makeups you can do from 1600 to get yourself all the way up to the top end of town on the elo system. With a 1600 flat elo, the team that we're going to be running here is Togekiss with Charm, Flamethrower and Ancient Power. The Ancient Power you can switch out for Aerial Ace if you see fit. The Ancient Power did cop that horrible nerf, which makes it not so good anymore, but it is still viable against the fire types. Then we have Gallade running Confusion, Close Combat and Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade is needed to take out all them Swampets that you'll see. Then we have Chesnaught with the Vine Whip, Energy Ball and the Super Power. So these guys are a very well-rounded team with not too many blaring weaknesses. But with that said, we're going to kick into the first match here of a 5-set series that helped us get to 1720 elo today from 1600. We'll see if this is one of the 5-0 sets or if we're going to be seeing the 5-0 set tomorrow on the second episode of the climb here. So our first game here is against Kibo0828. And as always, as you can see, the lead for us will be Togekiss here. So we've got Togekiss going out on the lead against an Empoleon, which isn't a great matchup with the double resists from the Empoleon. So we probably will commit to the farm here. Probably we do a bit more damage than the Waterfall does. I mean, at the end of the day, the Empoleon will beat us to the farm down at the end because of the resists that Empoleon has. If we throw the Ancient Power here, we might try and get that attack and defense buff, which will help us massively, but with my luck when it comes to Ancient Power, it won't happen. Here we go, the Ancient Power is now out, and there's no buff, so we'll quickly switch out to the Gallade. And the Gallade does have the edge here against the Magnezone if we can farm up to what looks like a close combat on the first play. If we leave it like that, then they might take the bait and throw a shield up expecting a close combat on the first playthrough here. So if we throw out the Leaf Blade as a bit of shield bait, they might give us a shield, which brings us back to even. And then we'll only be a couple of I think it's just one away from the close combat, which will be a one shot here on the Magnezone at that health range. So if they don't throw out that shield, this will give us the Pokemon and the switch advantage here, as well as a bit of energy buff. So we've managed to get that knockout, but the Empoleon's come back in with a bit of loaded energy. The Empoleon most likely has a Drill Peck loaded up here, but he's gone for the full energy spent on the Hydro Cannon. Either one was an absolute waste of a Gallade there, but we're going to bring in the Chesnaught here because the Super Power will do super effective damage on the Empoleon. We'll throw up that shield just in case he throws the Drill Peck, because that would do super effective damage on the grass typing. Now we have that Super Power and he's switched straight out to the Umbreon, which is a terrible move. I have two Super Powers ready to go, which will pretty much be enough damage to get rid of this Umbreon over there. That's a big mistake from the opponent here. But either way, the Empoleon was going to go down to a Super Power, and now we've got double defense drop and double attack drop on the Chesnaught, so we will have to switch him out after this attack here, so we can wipe those debuffs and we can soak up the foul play here on the Togekiss. The Togekiss will be taking non-effective damage from a dark type move. As you can see, it did literally nothing, and then we can just farm out this Umbreon. That puts us in a pretty decent spot here against the Empoleon, who's going to have to throw energy in order to get rid of the Togekiss, which then gives us the opportunity to farm up to that Super Power with our Chesnaught, which will give us the win. So here we have the Chesnaught coming in with almost full health. He will get to that Super Power, doesn't even need it, he's farmed down the Empoleon. There you go. That is the first game won at 1600 elo. So moving to the second game here against Ricky W2290. I don't know what that bug is where I can't see any of the rating levels, but it happens all the time. So we've got Togekiss on the lead against Tangrowth, which is a positive lead because we do a lot of chunk damage rather quick here against the Tangrowth. So by the time they're at half health, we'll probably only lost about 25%. As you can see, bang, 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 those charms are really eating that Tangrowth alive. Now you have to fear the possible rock slide here with a charmer at the front. So we're going to throw up that shield and the rock slides come out, because that would have done super effective damage here on the Togekiss. We're going to have to respect it again and throw the double shields. So putting double shields out at the start of a game is a terrible idea, everybody. Do your best to avoid doing that. We farmed up to a double ancient power here almost, so we're going to try and get those off against the Charizard to level the shield score, because if he does not shield one of these, then it'll be a one-hit KO, even with the nerf to ancient power. And there we go, we've managed to draw out one of the shields, but we weren't able to get to the second one, and this is most likely going to be a Blast Burn, because you don't throw a Dragon move against a Fairy type. And there's a Blast Burn, that's going to be the end of Togekiss. So he has a huge advantage here now with a shield and a huge energy lead, because he would have overfarmed a bit there on that Blast Burn. As you can hear in the background, my dogs are going a little silly. I'm going to throw that Leaf Blade out here to try and bait that last shield, because that might have them thinking close combat, which would take out the Charizard from that point. So we're going to bring in the Chesnaught to soak up the coming Blast Burn, because Gallade has a far better chance of beating whatever is in the back. Because we know the Tangrowth hasn't got much to offer. And as you can see, the Blast Burn's a one-hit smack on our grass monster Chesnaught. We will be able to farm out the Charizard here, but are we able to do enough damage here on a Garchomp? I'm not sure. He's pulled that out perfectly. So there goes what would have been super effective damage on the Garchomp, is now going to be a wasted Leaf Blade on the Tangrowth, as you see. And that's put him in a perfect position to eat one Leaf Blade, which will be super effective damage, and then he'll be able to just land an Outrage, and that will be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. They've outsmarted me there at the first with the double rock slides. I had to throw both shields or I would have been down straight away. And unfortunately with this team, if there's any fire on the other team, coming back from a negative start is rather difficult. I am able to do it, but unfortunately we're 1-1 here going in against Simjun. I've got the Togekiss lead here again against the Gyarados lead, which a Gyarados lead you always want the Dragon Breath, and a Dragon Breath is resisted by the Togekiss. As you can see, we'll be able to chunk this Gyarados down to at least half before it gets to an Aqua Tail or a Crunch. So after this Aqua Tail comes through, it will have the Gyarados at half health. Does surprisingly good chunk of chip damage on the Togi that Aqua Tail does. But we are going to be able to get to the farm down. No, he's got another Aqua Tail right on the edge, so we're going to have to use a shield here. We do have the charge move sitting on the Togekiss here, so we don't really want to lose that. That will help us draw out shields depending on what comes in, and it's another Charizard, so we want to try and throw the Ancient Power here and get the buff. The buff would be huge if we could get it, but as I've said before, my luck with getting the buff off this Ancient Power is literally zero. And as you can see, no buff, and will I be able to get to the second Ancient Power before a Dragon Claw comes through? I don't think so, no. So we're not able to get to that second Ancient Power, so that's the second shield gone. We'll switch straight out to the Gallade here to try and commit to a bit of a farm down on the Charizard like the last game you saw, and the Mudkip. It's a Swampert that's come in, so in our win condition here against the Swampert is we need to farm up to at least 2 Leaf Blades. The first one will draw the shield, and the second one will be a one hit knockout on the Swampert. So we'll be able to survive all the mud shots coming through, because it does literally no damage. So we're going to throw the Leaf Blade here. And the Leaf Blade comes in and is shielded. So that's a bit unfortunate. It would have been nice if that landed first up. But now we'll throw the second one against no shields, and this will be a one hit knockout on the Swampert. So it's always good to get rid of Swampert quickly, because you can land those Hydro Cannons very fast. Now in comes the Charizard to try and farm out the rest of my team. Now I tried to bring in the Togekiss here thinking that I had the Ancient Power ready to go, but I unfortunately needed one more fast attack, which led to a Blast Burn being eaten here on my Togekiss. Or actually Dragon Claw, which will be enough to get rid of the Togekiss. And now he'll be sitting in a spot where he only needs to do 3 more fire spins to get to the Blast Burn, and that'll be the end of my Chesnaught here. So that's a 1-2 start to the 1600 Elas. Not a good look, but I'm not afraid of my losses. You got to learn from your losses. I made a mistake there on the Togekiss. is what it is. If I had brought the Chesnaught out, then he most likely would have gone straight into Blast Burn straight up, and then I would have been able to farm with the Togekiss to get to that Ancient Power. So that's where the change is there, but a very bad lead here for Togekiss because the Charm is double resisted by Talonflame. The Flame Charge is most likely coming in at this range. That was too quick to be Brave Bird. And there comes a Flame Charge, so we're going to switch straight out into the Gallade that has a pretty decent advantage here against the Talonflame. And if we can land this Leaf Blade, that'll be goodbye Talonflame. Or if we can draw out a shield with this move, it'll be fantastic. Hopefully more of the shield variety so we can even the shield count. They will have a Flame Charge almost straight after. Yeah, here it comes. And I think Gallade has enough resistance here to not be KO'd by this Flame Charge. There you go, we were sitting pretty much on the edge of glory there, and now we can farm down here with 1 HP and a dream. We will need to try and draw out that shield with the Leaf Blade here. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get that close combat. The close combat would have been doing super effective damage if there was no shield like that. The Leaf Blade didn't do much at all, so we'll bring in the Chesnaught here on the Empoleon. A superpower here will be doing super effective damage on the Empoleon. We need to try and get 2 off because one will get rid of the first shield and the second one will also do enough damage to bring the Empoleon down to the bottom line. So we've managed to get that first shield, and we're going to have to eat. If this is a Drill Peck, it would be a one-hit shot after getting the defense drop. So we have to put that up and respect the Drill Peck. So the Drill Peck did come through, and if we can get to that superpower, we will be defeating this Empoleon here, and if not, we only need to bring in the Togekiss here to turn it over and farm a bit towards the end. As you can see, 2 fast moves gets rid of the Empoleon here, and it's 2 versus an Abomasnow, which is not the greatest for us, but you have the Ancient Power coming through, which was the big mistake there. If I had have gone for the Flamethrower, it would have been a one-shot kill on the Abomasnow. That was a mistake on my part. Do I pay for that mistake? We'll have to wait and see. But we get close to the farm down there with the Togekiss. A Weather Ball here will be enough to end Togekiss's night. So Togekiss will be back off to the dugout here. Off you go, Togekiss. We'll see you again soon. In comes Chesnaught. He's energy dry. And 2 Weather Balls will be enough to kill a Chesnaught. 1 won't be. It'll drop us pretty close. Probably half the health bar. Over half. That's 75% right there. If we can get to that superpower, then we win. We win. That's obviously a CMP tie there. And the Chesnaught's managed to get through and get this superpower off, which gave us the win to bring us to 2 apiece. So that's 2-2 on the record right now. Starting at 1600 flat. As I said, not afraid of my losses. You got to learn from them. We got the win. The last one is up against Kyan95, who actually had a really decent side here. We got the Gliscor lead against the Togekiss lead, which isn't all that great for our opponent, so he switches straight out into a mirror matchup. But because of the CP difference, you can see that I'm getting a little bit more damage than our opponent here. And we do get to that first charge move, but we're going to actually not pull it off straight away. We're going to put the shield up and we're going to try and farm down this Togekiss. Then we'll be able to see what comes in next, and we might be able to sit on these charge moves depending on what comes in. His switch timer will still be coming through, and the Gliscor has come back, so we're going to throw this Ancient Power to try and get that shield. Do we get that shield? We do, and we can switch straight out to the Gallade, who has a positive matchup here on the Gliscor. The Leaf Blades will be doing super effective damage. We are in a spot here where we do have a bit of strength on the back end, so we are going to go without the shield here because it's only a Night Slash, which doesn't do a great deal of damage to Gallade. If we can get to the 2 Leaf Blades here, we can get rid of that last shield on the Gliscor, and the Leaf Blade will be doing super effective damage on a Gliscor, which is really good and advantageous for us. As you can see, there's another Night Slash coming, so we'll have to use that shield here. Because the Night Slash at that point would end the night for Gallade, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to throw out that Leaf Blade here, and this will be doing super effective damage against the Gliscor because of that ground typing. As you can see, it does a good chunk of damage. It's not really super effective. I forgot about the neutral of the air attack. So we have hit the superpower here against Lucario, who's come in on the back end for our opponent. And one superpower is going to be enough to say goodbye to Lucario. And it's very unfortunate because Lucario is a fan favourite and he is just pretty much utterly useless in Great League or Ultra League. His fighting type is countered too hard by all the fighting types that you do see in the Great League and the Ultra League, so it's a bit of a tough sell to make Lucario viable. His moveset isn't that great. It's very disappointing, to be fair, because I would like to have a Lucario that's actually got a bit more play in him than what you have. Because as you can see, one superpower, one close combat, one basically any other type of fighter, even cross chop does a lot of damage to a Lucario. He'll lose to Machamp 100 times out of 100. Even in a 2 shield or 1 shield. I mean, Lucario could have 2 shields and Machamp have 0, but the amount of speed that you can get a cross chop on a Machamp will be enough damage to get rid of Lucario. Lucario is just really... It's disappointing in a way because a lot of people are a big fan of Lucario. It's just, he doesn't have a lot of play in Pokemon Go at the moment. His playset is just so vanilla, and it's a bit disappointing really. But as you can see, this team does have a great deal of play in it. What I'm going to do for you now is show you exactly the type of play and coverages that this team has. I'll bring up the meta score that they have against the current regular selections. So that right there, right there is what we're looking at, everybody. So as you can see, Swampert, who is used pretty much all the time, you win 3 out of 3 matches there. Machamp loses to everybody, Sirfetch'd loses to everybody, Lucario gets annihilated, Scavalier has probably a bit of play, Magnezone has a bit of play, he pretty much defeats Togekiss because of the electric wild charge, and he has a chance against Gallade too because of the steel resistance to psychic, but the fighting moves actually gives Gallade a bigger edge there, if you ask me. Venusaur has good play, but if you can land the flamethrower from Togekiss, then it's pretty much game over there. So you do have coverages in this lineup I have over there against even the ones that have the best matchups against us. Snorlax loses out, Lapras loses out, Abomasnow has the most chance to beat us there. As you saw with the Powder Snow, it does so much damage to my Chesnaught as well as Togekiss. They both ate a lot of damage from him. We still managed to pick up the win. Dragonite does have a lot of play as well. He's, has Dragonite, especially with Dragon Breath. He can get to those charge moves very fast. Obstagoon gets whacked by the whole team. Blaziken only has a real edge against Chesnaught because of the fire typing. Heracross also because of the bug typing. Electivire and Jellicent have 2 edges by Togekiss and Gallade. But I think Electivire will actually lose to Togekiss if you can land an Ancient Power. And Empoleon just gets absolutely annihilated by Chesnaught because of the Superpower and the Energy Ball. So he's weak to both of the charge moves on the Chesnaught. So you have a big edge against a regular that you see there. The most regular ones you see in the high elos who you should be learning to play against will be Swampert, Machamp, Escavalier, Venusaur is there a lot, Gallade too on the safe swap. You tend to see a bit of Snorlax, a bit of Lapras, Abomasnow. You don't really see too much of Politoed unless it's Shadow Politoed. Hariyama you rarely see, Dragonite you see a lot on the lead. Obstagoon is every now and then these days. Blaziken very rare, Heracross extremely rare, Electivire every now and then, Jellicent a lot, and then Empoleon almost every team. With the ABB setups that most people run, your best bet is to set yourself up to beat Machamp, Swampert and Empoleon. Those will be the 3 that you most likely come across the most in the higher elos. Where I'm at now, below the 2000 marker for this series, it's incredible. You have such a more diverse selection from your opponents, and your opponents will be running literally everything and it catches you off guard. So this is the first episode in this series. Sorry again for my dogs just being silly buggers in the background there, I'm sure you can hear them. But with that said, thanks for tuning in here today, guys, for the first series of The Climb. The Climb will be having its next episode out tomorrow, so be sure to tune back in and catch that one. Alright, that's Fade out. See you later, Salty Crew. Hey everybody, my name's The Fade. Thanks for tuning into this YouTube channel. I stream weekly on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheFade with a 4 and a 3. Weekdays Monday to Friday, 9:30am to 5pm CET. Be sure to drop by the stream and give it a look.